Hello and welcome to the Gaelic Football Team of the Weekend. Obviously, plenty of matches went ahead. Just to run through them quickly, Donegal, they hammered down, Offaly beat Louth, Wexford saw off Wicklow. We also saw Longford coming through against Carlow. Also on Saturday then, Mayo very handily beat Sligo. Kerry saw off Clare fairly emphatically, and Limerick had a fairly big win over Waterford. And all the losing teams there, of course, that's their season done. So in terms of picking out a team for the weekend, obviously very difficult. A lot of really good performers in different games across the country. But let's make a stab at it all the same. And absolutely, as ever, get your thoughts in while I'm broadcasting live at the moment. If you want to get your suggestions in, maybe we can sort of argue the toss. But just to bring up the team here on the screen that I've picked, I'm actually going to bring it up a little bit bigger than that. In goals, Paddy Cullum of Longford, very good game for the Father Manning Gales man. Made a couple of great saves, and we did a review of the game of Michael Verney earlier today on Monday. You can check that out. And he spoke about a couple of the absolutely brilliant saves that Cullum pulled off. So obviously he was always going to be in contention there. Must also be said that Watford goalkeeper Paddy Hunt, he had a couple of top-class saves in that defeat to Limerick. So definitely an honourable mention goes to him also. Then moving into the full back line, I've looked at Donald McKenny, Paddy Fox and James Lawler. So Louth, Longford and Offaly all being recognised here for their performances. Just to start off then with Donald McKenny, very good performance for Louth. Paddy Fox, we've seen him before at Mullinlough, excellent player. And of course, James Lawler for Offaly in their win over Louth, which went to extra time in that game. And just to double check there, I might have the wrong crest in with Paddy Fox. I have the Louth one, the eagle-eyed among you will notice that I have the Louth crest with him. But of course, that should be Longford. My apologies to any Longford men out there, and I'm sure you're not that sensitive now that you'd get upset about that. We'll move on to the half-back line. Gavin White, we've had him here before in the half-back line in our teams of the week. He makes it again, scored 2 points, bombing forward from the back line. Of course, it's only a few weeks since he scored that unbelievable goal against Tyrone. He's kicking on a couple of points here. Owen McLaughlin, very good for Mayo there in the half-back line. Now, I mean, whatever challenge that Sligo put up wasn't particularly taxing for the defenders of Mayo, but all the same, a good performance. And absolutely, get your thoughts in on who else you would like to see in the back line here if you feel that I've gotten it wrong. Ryan McHugh was sensational for Donegal in their win over Down. Again, Down, they looked like they were going to put up a bit of a fist of it midway through the second half, made a bit of a burst after the Quayle Mooney goal. But they fell apart again. The red card, obviously, the needless red card, scuppered any chances they had of putting respectability on the scoreline. And Ryan McHugh was brilliant all game. He surged forward and got himself 4 points from the half-back line. Just a fabulous player, no doubt about it. Conor Loftus growing into that midfield berth with Mayo. And obviously, after all the people that have stepped away this year, the likes of Shamie O'Shea and Donald Vaughan, who've occupied some of those midfield or mid-late type positions, Conor Loftus continues to step up. Again, obviously Sligo weren't particularly good, but we'll put him in the mix there around midfield. Darren Gallagher beside him, really good. I mean, we know that he missed last year for Longford, big loss, and he was a command performance midfield for Longford against Carlow, so that's why I put him in there. Got 4 points, 3 of those from frees. Barry O'Hagan, just by virtue of how good he was on a team that got hammered, you couldn't but ignore him. He gave Owen Baum Gallagher an awful time of it in Sunday's afternoon clash in the Ulster Championship. Scored 8 points, 3 frees, a mark and 4 from play. But it's just the liveliness of him. When he gets the ball, twists, turns, any player, I can't imagine any player would have been able to keep him scoreless in that match. I'd love to know if you've any thoughts on who. Please comment in there if you want to. But I just thought he was unbelievable, and arguably the performance of the weekend, considering how heavily his team were beaten in that game. In the half-forward line, at centre forward, I don't think anyone but Sean O'Shea was going to get in there. Scored 1-7, including 3 frees, but just really good performance. The way he took that first goal after Paddy Clifford had intercepted a hand pass and knocked the beauty over the top. Just very emphatic. Niall McNamee, I've named in wing forward there. He's probably going to be closer to goals, as I think most people would appreciate. But he was very good, scored 1-3 as Offaly saw off Louth after extra time. Now, there's plenty of other guys around the middle 8 that you could put in here as well. Quaylon Mooney, considering how badly Down were beaten, he did all right and got a lovely goal. Liam Kerr was, I thought, quite very good for them also, but strangely taken off midway through the second half. I'd love to know what you think about that. I thought that was quite unusual. A few other players, Rian Brady, very good for Longford. Pater Morgan scored 3 points for Donegal, wearing the number 15 jersey, but coming out a bit. John Tubbert scored 2 points for Wexford over Wicklow. He was on a team of the week a few weeks back. He was very good. Dahi Waters at midfield for Wexford, also very good. Sam Mulroy kicked 6 for Louth from centre forward. Few frees in there, of course. Keane Farrell for Offaly. Hugh Burke won 6 for Limerick. David Clifford won 6, of course, again. But in a game where you're winning by so much, I was unlikely to put him in again, even though he's still unbelievable. Like Clare's Owen Cleary, he scored 6 points, 2 frees. David Tuberty won 1, but you could make a fair push to put Owen Cleary in here, a bit like with Barry O'Hagan, because they're on the back foot so much. It's very impressive to do that. Like Aidan O'Shea, 2-2, didn't get in here, neither did Darren McHale, because they won by so much. But it did put Niall Murphy of Sligo in here, and I'd love to know if you agree with that one or not. I have him in here. He scored 6 points in the game. 5 of those came from play. Really, really good. Just such an athletic-looking player. You can see him. He looks like he's chiseled out of stone. A sort of a Division 1 type player in a side that's sadly very much down towards the bottom end of things, and it feels a long time ago that they beat both Mayo and Galway to get to the Connacht final in 2010. Of course, they lost to Roscommon at that stage, but they could do with a few more Niall Murphys in their team. Also in the full forward line, I had Robbie Smith, 5 points from play for Longford. He sadly missed when he wasn't part of the panel there. Was it last year or the year before? And also Paddy McBrearty. Again, we've had him in here before. Scored 1-6, 2 of those from frees, just ripped down apart. And he's always taken away with 3 or 4 from play quietly. Just excellent player. Always puts the opposition on the back foot. Let me know if you agree with the team of the week, or if you think I was wildly off the mark with anyone here. Absolutely not everyone is going to agree, but that's my team of the week. Let me know yours.